When worries overwhelm us, turning to prayer can bring immense comfort and peace. One of the most powerful and comprehensive prayers given to us is the Lord's Prayer. Let's explore how each part of this prayer addresses our worries and provides solace. The Lord's Prayer, as found in the book of Matthew, chapter 6, verses 9 through 13. Reverence and Relationship. Acknowledge God as our loving Father who is sovereign and holy. This reminds us that we are not alone. We have a caring Father who is in control of everything. Surrender and trust. Align our desires with God's will. This part encourages us to trust in God's perfect plan and timing, knowing that His kingdom and purposes are for our ultimate good. Provision and dependence. Ask for God's provision for our daily needs. This teaches us to rely on God for our sustenance and not to worry about tomorrow, as He faithfully provides for today. Forgiveness and reconciliation. Seek God's forgiveness and extend forgiveness to others. This alleviates the burden of guilt and resentment, fostering inner peace and freeing us from relational tensions. Protection and guidance. Request God's protection from temptation and evil. This reassures us that God is our protector and guide, helping us navigate life's challenges and spiritual battles. Acknowledgement and praise. End with praise, acknowledging God's eternal power and glory. This reminds us of God's ultimate authority and victory over all circumstances, encouraging us to trust in His everlasting reign. How the Lord's Prayer addresses worry. 1. Acknowledge God's sovereignty. Recognizing God as our Father who reigns in heaven calms our hearts by shifting our focus from our worries to His majesty and power. 2. Align with God's will. By seeking God's will, we submit our anxieties to His greater plan, trusting that He knows what is best for us and works all things for our good. 3. Depend on God's provision. Asking for daily bread reminds us that God is our provider. He knows our needs and cares for us, reducing our anxiety about material concerns. 4. Seek forgiveness and extend grace. Receiving and giving forgiveness helps us to release the burden of sin and the stress of holding grudges, leading to emotional and spiritual healing. 5. Request protection and deliverance. Praying for protection reassures us that God is with us in every trial, guarding us against harm and leading us away from temptation. 6. Praise God's eternal power. Ending with praise lifts our spirits and reinforces our faith in God's unchanging nature and His ultimate control over all things. Practical steps to use the Lord's Prayer when worried. 1. Pray regularly. Incorporate the Lord's Prayer into your daily routine to continually remind yourself of God's presence and promises. 2. Reflect deeply. Meditate on each phrase, considering how it applies to your current worries and concerns. 3. Personalize it. Adapt the prayer to include specific details about your worries, turning it into a personal conversation with God. 4. Trust fully. After praying, practice releasing your worries to God, trusting Him to handle them according to His perfect will. By praying the Lord's Prayer, we anchor ourselves in the profound truths of God's character and His promises, finding peace and reassurance in His loving care.